Every family has their secrets in the closet of the confines of their lives. They have uncles they can't talk to that have done irrefutable things to certain members of the family and caused canon events that actually shaped how they became as people. This is something that happens in every family. It's life. We have grandmas we don't talk to, brothers who we will never forgive. I have a father who is down horrendous. He's down bad and up nasty all the time. That is a trait that is shared between me and my father. We're kindred spirits in this aspect. We're both two peas in a pod, but we don't pee in the same pod because that'd be kind of strange if I just saw my dad's gonads, and that's what we're going to talk about today because I did see the lower quarters of my father. On accident, not on purpose, obviously. I was doing what every regular black man in Detroit, Michigan does on a regular Wednesday afternoon. I was scrolling through Grindr, the app where you grind. Obviously, it's where you obtain the grain, solicit the biscuit, and yeet the wheat. It's just what you do on a regular Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. You go through and you check, wow, that femboy is having a nice day. Ooh, I love the slim waist on that man. You love to see it. Everybody does it. Don't judge me. You do it too. We all do it. Don't act like you're better than me because you're not. I know what you are. I've seen your internet browsing history. I know what you go through. I know what you do on a Tuesday morning and afternoon. I can feel it inside the air. The electricity is good. I'm an empath. I know what you are. So, after doing this fun little perusing thing, I see a man on there. And I have to check my glasses despite the fact that I'm not wearing any. I take out my contacts and I, lo and behold, and put them back in. I look on my phone and I see my father, King Slayer 55. Why do you have a Xbox name on Grindr? Bit of a mess there. His bio read, and I quote, "I'm looking for feminine men with huge bottoms." He's just like me. We're basically the same person. I message him and say, "Dad, is that you?" He says, "You know why I'm here." I can feel the gumption through the phone. I can feel the power coalesce throughout my entire body. My spine got straightened out and realigned. I can feel the entire course of human history changing at that exact moment. I said, huh? I'm thinking it's not him. So I call him on my regular phone and I say, "Dad, I think I'm talking to you on Grindr right now, but I just want to confirm this is actually you." He says, "Boy, I came here looking for one thing in particular. Have you ever seen the Disney Channel movie Holes?" And I said, "Holes? Yeah, with Shia LaBeouf." He said, "Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. That's me. I'm going in the buff on these men because they're easy to manipulate." I say, "Oh, well, I'm proud of you, Dad. I'm excited. Thank you for letting me know." He said, "Guess what? What? I'm with one right now." He sends me a picture of one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen. Long hair. Obviously effeminate, huge, bottom quarters, legs thick, much like a rabbit's. One would say Vaporeon thickness, low punny. One might say mega low punny. I said, "Oh, well, good on you, Dad. I'm really proud of you." He said, "Yeah, I'm about to go crazy. You don't get to watch though." I said, I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't planning on doing that thought hadn't even occurred in my brain. There is no universe in which I would have wanted to. He said, "Yeah, and you will never will." He hung up. Now, I have to envision it because now I've seen the person, I've seen him. I've seen my dad nude once before as a child. We've all seen our dad nude once. Come on, guys. We've all seen it nude once. We've all seen the grandfather clock swinging between the legs, hitting the kneecaps, walking around the house. We've all seen it. We all know what's going on. Don't act like you haven't seen it. We've all seen the Jiplogomp. We've seen the Ghibli Gootens. We've seen it smacking around, going in helicopter mode. We've accidentally walked in, our mom and dad actually in the business of action to happen, and now we're forever scarred by it. And now we think about it and sometimes have nightmares about it because it ruins us mentally because you never wanted to view your parents like that because you didn't have the birds and the bees talk, and now you're mentally going through a panic, and now you feel bad because it's now ruining your entire life, and now you think about it sometimes and you wish that you could actually have love like your parents had, but they got divorced, and now you don't believe in love, and now you're ruining your entire life. We've all had that moment happen to us. We know what's going on. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. So now he knew. I think he's a manipulator, much like myself. I think he knows. I think he knows what I was going through. He knew that I was going to think about it, and he knew within his heart of hearts and his chest of chests, my heart was my guiding key. Shout out Kingdom Hearts. He could feel me thinking about that man. And so I try to repress this memory. I try to make sure nobody informs me about it. I try to keep it in the back of my throat, much like what was going in the back of that thick young man's throat that was meeting up with my father. I like to just envision that that is not happening and just keep it repressed like all good people should do when they don't want to think about things that are bad. They should just repress it. However, a funner event happened afterwards. One of my friends, obviously, of the homosexual variety, thick as thieves, juicy as burglars, bunch of dummy, thick, steely boys, just thick. One of my friends, he said, "I think I'm hanging out with your father." I said, "Huh? Why is that? Maybe they're playing pool." I'm thinking innocently. Maybe they met at Cedar Point. Maybe they're at a bar and they accidentally shared a drink with one another. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe they're at Applebee's and they ran across each other. And my dad looks a lot like me. Maybe he saw and just wanted to ask the question. Maybe I'm thinking inside the box, but I gotta think out of the box. I'm talking about the Disney Channel show. I'm still on Disney right now because I'm thinking about holes right now in Shia LaBeouf. Out of the Box was a great Disney Channel show. I'm thinking about it right now. And he sends me a picture of my father. And my dad says to me in a text message, because he knew where the picture was going, "Your friend is done." Okay, you supervillain. What are you going to do to my friend? Why would you send me that? Why would I need to be informed of this information? Now, I have a secondary thought, a tertiary thought going inside of my mind of my father clapping my friend. Now, would you end a friendship over that? I must ask you. Let's say your old withered man was perhaps going inside of the perhaps cavities of your friend. Would you end a relationship with your father or your friend? Or would you just stop interacting with those people at all and try to find healthy people to associate with? Or would you just state the absurdity and the melodrama of the insanity of the internet is actually coalescing into actual reality, and you don't know whether to think it's the art that's imitating the artist or whether we are becoming the entertainment value for the world because everything's becoming all meshed together in a big disgusting melting pot soup? Why is my friend sleeping with my father? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that crazy sentence to even think of. But guess what? It happened. It happened. And my friend had raving reviews all over Yelp, one might say. Oh, it was chaotic. I felt as if my chest was being ripped out of my heart and my soul. And I felt like I was in that, that sucking machine from Monsters, Inc. Just diabolical, depressing. I don't even know why. He told me, he said, "Your dad's stroke game is immaculate. Crazy. I've never had my back broken and that. I felt like I was with a chiropractor. I felt like I got my chakras realigned." You ever see the ending of Avatar: Last Airbender when he got his bending taken away, the Fire Lord? It felt like he put his thumb to my head. I felt every motion of every world. I felt like I was getting annihilated. I felt like I could be an affiliate on Twitch. I was like, what does that even mean? And he said, "I don't know, but I felt like a bird, free, flying through the skies, hollow bones and everything." I said, okay, thank you for the information. I would appreciate it if we didn't discuss this. And then my friend said, "Are you as good as your father?" Now, that was now an open challenge. And I refused. To not accept the challenge. What am I, a coward? Do I look like a weakling to you? Do I look like I wouldn't do that? Do I look like I would never take a challenge? I said, "Now, you're probably freshly raptured from my father, so I'm not gonna go after and get his sloppy seconds, obviously. But after you recover, after you've had your Wheaties and some water and some fruit snacks, I may consider it." And then he asked me when I was free. I said, "When are you free? When are you free?" So now I was actively competing against my dad. And the only bad thing about that is that I was worse. I was worse than a 61-year-old man. I didn't have the stamina or the gumption or power to keep up with a tenured veteran. I didn't have the gumption. I didn't have the goombla inside of my hoopsby. I didn't have it inside of my body to keep up. And that was the worst experience I've ever had. They immediately after the laying betwixt the sheets action commenced said, "I've had better. And it was your father." I am always in the shadow of this disgusting, vitriolic, ignorant, selfish old fool. And I now have to live with that coalescing inside of my body, shaking me to my very core. I don't know how to feel about this, and I never will. I just really didn't want my friends to sleep with my dad. He should not have been on Grindr. That was odd and strange. But hey, c'est la vie. Such is life. Whatever.